Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's now time for the end of the month report from our host with Shenanigans statements of the Statesman. And now here is the Statesman of Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. This is episode 1330 overall. This is a very special episode because this is a special version of the Shenanigans statements of the Statesman. As you good folks know, I always do this. I get after the end of every month, and every year I get to do this. And today is a very, very special occasion for it. And this is going to be my first time doing a tribute. So to speak, a Shenanigans Tribute. Now, a lot of people know when I was a kid growing up, I caused a lot of shenanigans, hence the name of the YouTube channel. And there are a lot of people in my life that has inspired me to be who I am and to cause all these crazy shenanigans. And they're all good, and they're good shenanigans, inspired me to do something very special with my life and all that. And there's people in my real life. Well, I'm not, let's exclude the celebrities, the sports athletes, the wrestlers, the, singers and all that good stuff. Even TV characters, all right? I'm going to put them to the side because this is a very special. There's people out there in my life who I've interacted with in my real life, as far as not just online, but in my real life here, especially here in the city, New Bedford. There are folks out there who have inspired me. Big inspiration. And, my ultimate inspiration is the Lord Jesus Christ, and no one else, and he's the ultimate inspiration. But there are people down here on earth that, I feel like I'm talking like an alien. Ooh, you're crazy, Eric. No, let me explain. People in real life, in human form, obviously, that has inspired me throughout my life, has helped make a difference in my life in one shape or form. Whether they've interacted with me or sat down or talked to me, or I see something and how they present themselves and poise themselves and say, okay, and I say, okay, that's how I do things. That's how I should conduct myself, and how, and it's very, very important. When you're told to set an example, because other people will be watching you. That's very important. All right, especially when you have little ones. All right, you need to be, there's little ones around you. I'm an uncle. All right, I'm an uncle. I'm the oldest kid in my oldest child in my family. And, and I'm an uncle as well. So I need, I have to be an example, need to set an example. Sometimes I do admit I am not the most perfect role model for anybody. I don't intend to be a role model. All right. One thing I like to do is try to be the example and set the example. Even as a Christian, I'm not perfect. But setting an example and being an example is very important. How I carry myself. How I say things, you don't hear me swear a whole lot. That's the thing. Swearing is not my thing, man. We have a right to say whatever the heck we want. This is America. I get it, but to me, I've always tried to be. I don't want to be a trendsetter or anything. I just want to be an example and be an inspiration to others. If people come up to me and say, well, I like your show, I like the way you talk, I like the way you present yourself, that means a lot. And I do appreciate that. I have a lot of support from a lot of good folks on this platform here on YouTube. And it's an honor to be part of a community that cares about each other. And just how things have happened and everything else. It has been a wild weekend. WrestleMania 40 has been a wild weekend. I've already did some reports on that. I'm sure the guys over at Bofus and the Sofas will talk a little bit about this. WrestleMania 40, I should say, when they go on at 5 o'clock. We'll be on the Mr. Garrison. I always like to plug other people's channels, So, getting back to inspirations. Before I went to work on Saturday, I woke up a little early, checked my phone. somebody made a post. A person who used to be who was friends with me from the Dennison Memorial days. She she unfriended me now. She didn't block me, so that's a. Sometimes sometimes if we don't interact with somebody, I'll go. Not gonna friend you. That's fine. Come to find out from this person's post that the director of the famed Dennison Memorial Community Center, Mr. Sean P. Hargraves, has passed away. This is this past Saturday. So I woke up a little early to kind of find that out. Now, the reason why I did not say something about it right away, I want to give myself time to think about it, and I want to process and see how I'm going to go about this. And I did a lot of thinking about this, about Mr. Hargraves and all. I figured I want to give some, for those of you who do not know my history as a little child back in the day, I'm going to give a little bit of history surrounding Mr. Sean P. Hargraves. When my dad was single, and this was when my father was single, we're going back early 80s, early mid 80s type of deal. My biological parents were on the verge of separation and ultimately divorce. My dad worked at the Sears Arnold Center at that time, had a passion for cars. That's how he was. And because he was single and there was no one else, to babysit me when I was little, no one else to babysit because everybody was working and such, or school and whatnot. He enrolled me in an after-school program called the YMCA Latchkey program, and I was a latchkey kid back in the day. We're talking about 80s now, okay? And I grew up. A cool thing about growing up in the 80s, you did a lot of crazy things, but without, getting into much trouble or anything. I had some nice, clean fun. Didn't do anything totally crazy, And the interesting part about that situation is that there were 3 schools that opened up their doors for these after-school programs. Gomes School, which was one of the schools I attended. I attended there in the first grade. And it's also right near where I live. Then you got Hayden McFadden, as we like to affectionately call the school, Haymac. And then finally, Parker School, which is right near where I lived. Even though it was like a few blocks, a few streets away from me. So my father enrolled me into the Parker School. I don't know who recommended him this program. Possibly a friend at work. I don't know, a friend of his at work. I don't know. I really didn't know who recommended it to him to enroll me in this. So I was enrolled in the Parker School portion of the YMCA Latchkey program. Now, the upside of that was it continued on in the summertime where I get to go early in the morning. Usually my father drops me off at Park School. I go inside and hang out with the crew and all that. Kids would chat around, and how I got my first nickname there, Whammy, because I used to be big into Press Your Luck back in the day. Still am a little bit. You see me play Press Your Luck on every Thursday, and the fun part about that is that the fun part about that is that you get to chat with friends and everything else, and we get to go on field trips and all that. And I think my favorite part of that, going to the Parker School version, I've been to one of the field trips was to Rocky Point Park in Warwick, Rhode Island. Now, back in the day, it was an amusement park, and I thought, that's cool, an amusement park. I'd never been. And I think when I was a little small kid, when I used to go to Lincoln Park in Dartmouth back in the day, but then going to Rocky Point Amusement Park back in the day, that was a big deal for me. I was really excited to go. And first time I went, it was like 1983. It was, like I said, it's been a while, and just going to the House of Horrors, I thought that was a crazy deal. I wasn't going to go on. I was really scared. Went on the Enterprise, don't want to go on that. So I had a good time, somewhat, but except for the Enterprise and House of Horrors, I had a great time. 85% of there. The 15% I didn't have the good times when I was in the House of Horrors and in the Enterprise. But second time around, I had a decent time. I had a lot of fun. But then around in the mid 80s, probably 85 or something like that. 85, probably 85, 86. The Gomes School closed its doors to the after-school program, and we've been told that some of us will be transferred to Dennison Memorial. That means some of us from Gomes School, some of us from Parker School, and Haymack will be combined into the Dennison Memorial. So Dennison Memorial replaces the Gomes School as an after-school program. I was one of the few that was transferred over to Dennison Memorial, or nicknamed by some folks, some of the kids back in the day, City Mission. And that's where I met Mr. Sean P. Hargraves. And he was the director there. And he inspired me. He taught me a lot of things. How to play pool. I never played pool in my entire life until going to Dennison Memorial. I know my grandparents had a pool table back in the day in their basement, but never got a chance to learn how to play it. But I learned how to play pool over at Dennison Memorial. So I go there, I do my homework. After I've done my homework, go out and play. You can go outside and play, or go around in the gym, play some basketball, or you could play some bumper pool table or a foosball table. I don't know if they had an air hockey table. I think they did. Had an air hockey table. But I think they did, however. Also, one of the counselors that was there was a head counselor, Joe Nebbs. Good man. But Sean P. Hargraves has helped me, has inspired me a lot, to how I care about myself. And he was a good man. He cared about the kids in Dennison Memorial. Sean P. Hargraves had passed away this past Saturday, just to let you know. So I wanted to process everything and try to speak from the heart. And Mr. Hargraves who is well known throughout New Bedford as the founder and director of the Dennison Memorial Community Center program. I was honored to know him. He was a good man. He taught me how to play pool, bumper pool. He taught me to play. He taught me a lot. There was a lot of games I played I never got a chance to play before. I thought that was really cool. We went on a few field trips, which was totally awesome. But one thing he is going to be missed. Dennison Memorial was a part of my life growing up. The saddest day I left there was in 1986. When my father decided, well, it's been costing him a lot of money, and he decided to say, well, I'm going to pull you out of there. And I can understand. Times were tough back in the day, and my dad met somebody, and so he decided the time was right. But before I even left there was one important thing that Mr. Hargraves taught me, or even inspired me to be, was a Red Sox fan. A fan of the Boston Red Sox. I remember winning spelling bee contest in my class over at Duval School. And I used to collect Garbage Pail Kids cards when I was a kid, but then my attitude kind of cost me those, and I said, well, I'll collect baseball cards. I started collecting baseball cards, and some of the counselors, including Sean himself, said, hey, do you have any Red Sox cards? Cards of Red Sox players. Now, the Boston Red Sox, I realized, was our home team. And since the year was 1986, they were doing very, very well. So I said, okay. So I made it a mission to find a Red Sox card, a card of a Red Sox player. And my first Red Sox player was a Topps 85 Steve Crawford. Sean P. Hargraves has decided to convert me into being a Red Sox fan. Now, and I was never a Yankees fan. I was never a fan of baseball until I started collecting baseball cards, and I started being a Red Sox fan. All in thanks to the man that made that happen. It was Sean P. Hargraves. Mr. Hargraves' impact on Dennison Memorial Community Center has been felt in a positive direction. Every person that has been there, I grew up having Dennison Memorial in the old building, and they have a new building obviously now. It's bigger. It's a lot bigger than the old building. The old building I grew up on. I knew there were 3 floors, I believe, a three-story building. The first one you had was, they had the office, Sean Hargraves' office, where I used to hang out there to do my homework and check out my baseball cards. Because I'd do my homework, then check out my baseball cards, and then afterwards I head into the gym area where it's surrounded by a few pool tables, foosball tables, an air hockey table, and then you got the gym with the basketball hoops and everything else in between. They had bumper pool tables and all that. It was really cool. It was really a cool building. Then you go upstairs, more of the same, but there's an activity area, with tables all around. They had poker keno. We don't gamble. They just play for fun, the cards and all that. It's like, and they had more pool tables, foosball tables there. There was a second floor. But the third floor was not used as much. It was like an attic. I think the only time the third floor was used is for a haunted house, which I never went in anyway. So I was scared of haunted houses. So, Mr. Hargraves played a significant part in my life where I grew as a kid there, to learn how to be a kid and have fun, but at the same time learn how to treat others with respect. I know there's a few times where I got myself in trouble, a couple of times there, but that was a learning experience for me, is to learn how to treat others. I learned how to treat others with respect, and how to be respectful towards others, and just be a good person. And Mr. Sean Hargraves was a good man. He is going to be missed, and all I can say is to Sean P. Hargraves, thank you. Thank you for being an inspiration to me and to the kids in the Dennison Memorial Community Program back in the community center back in the day. Those of us grown up, and I've been wondering where the others are now. But to me, I'm hoping to go to the celebration of life service to be a living testimony, and not only what Sean Hargraves meant to me and all that, and just also how far I've come. And this was something that I will never, it's sad that he's gone, but I think his legacy will still live on in that community center, Dennison Memorial. I really will miss him, and I want to say thank you for making me a Red Sox fan. I think it's really cool. I'm honored to be part of Red Sox Nation thanks to him. He was the first one to say, hey, you need some Red Sox cards. And I realized, okay, I'll get some Red Sox cards. And I did. But like I say, he's made a huge difference in my life, and he really cared about me. He really had my back. He helped me learn a lot about myself, about who I am. or who, what I should do, who I should be, how I should act, and he really did help me out a lot. And Sean, Mr. Hargraves, you are going to be missed. And my condolences and prayers go out to the family of Sean Hargraves. Condolences to family and friends of Sean Hargraves. My condolences and prayers go out to the current staff over at Dennison Memorial Community Center. I know he's made an impact in your lives too, and all the kids that were there. My condolences and prayers go to them. I'm sure they Mr. Hargraves meant a big deal to them. Playing a huge part in their lives, and I hope that Dennison Memorial Community Center will still be up and around. Hopefully, bringing kids in, get them to keep them out of trouble. And thanks to Mr. Hargraves and the Dennison Memorial Community Center, I wouldn't be alive today if it had not for that. If it had not been, I would not be able to make the friends that I did over there when I was there, when I was young, and learning how to play pool, bumper pool, the foosball, air hockey. Also, I wouldn't be able to learn how to be a Red Sox fan. And as all thanks to Mr. Sean P. Hargraves. Mr. Hargraves, rest in peace, sir. Godspeed. And thank you. A Shenanigan salute to you, my friend. I know before you passed on, I ran into you a couple of times. It was great seeing you. You're a good man, Mr. Hargraves. You made a difference in my life. And ever since then, I've been blessed to know you. I've been blessed that you came into my life. I believe the Lord sent you to help me with my life. And ever since then, my life's changed. And I'm hoping if I go to the I plan on going to the celebration of life at the Dennison Memorial Community Center. That's my ultimate aim, to go, so I can be a living testimony to those over there. I'm hoping to run into a few people that I have not seen in quite a while. I don't know if they remember me or not, but I'm sure the name Eric Lima will probably catch on. Who knows? But the name Sean P. Hargraves will be a name of legacy for the Dennison Memorial Community Center. A legend in New Bedford. I know he's a big pillar of the South Coast community. And his legacy will live on through the folks working over at the Dennison Memorial Community Center. Rest in peace, Mr. Hargraves. You will be missed, sir. My Shenanigan tribute to you, sir. And Shenanigan salute. Thank you. Thank you, Sean P. Hargraves. Well, that's it. That's all the time we have on the show. Episode 1330 is complete. A Shenanigan Statements of the Statesman, number 5, very special edition. Talking about the legacy, the legend, the man that did make a difference in my life over the years, back in the day, Sean P. Hargraves. And have not been for his vision for the Dennison Memorial Community Center program, I don't know what happened to any of us kids that have been there back in the 80s. Thank you, sir. Rest in peace and thank you. As for the others, as for all you good people out there, thank you for watching. You have a great and wonderful day. Until the next episode comes rolling around, which will be the Tic-Tac-Doe episode. Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.